Hello, everyone. So let's continue with unlocking your potential for authentic writing. Remember, we are here to share and learn together and even explore together how to use our different intelligences, many of them, to write lucidly. So last week I covered linguistic intelligence and I covered visual intelligence. This week, I want to just explore with you intuitive intelligence and its importance in writing authentically. And I'm going to talk about this kind of intelligence for 2 to 3 more Tuesdays. But before I do that, I just want to go back to the linguistic intelligence and give you more ideas on how to develop your linguistic intelligence. What I found when I was working or rather teaching global business, I found that students are battling to come up with their own voice when they are writing assignments, when they are writing proposals, when they are writing dissertations. So you have to learn to have your own voice. You have to have your voice come out of the writing. When a reader reads your work, they have to make a discernment of what is your voice in relation to the voices of the other authors that you are citing in your work. It is daunting because students have to read so many pieces of literature and they get lost in that literature. So to develop your voice, you have to do a few things. Start by writing poetry. Because your voice comes from your soul. Your voice comes from your values. Your voice comes from your belief system. Your voice comes from your worldview. So if you are not engaging with yourself in terms of what are your values, what is your worldview, and it's a subject I've covered extensively last year, because that voice comes from that. It doesn't come from anywhere else. So you need to explore what are the things that you stand for. What are the things that you value most in life? What are the things you're prepared to die for? Because that's what values are. There are universal values that we all should espouse, such as the values of trustworthiness, the values of honesty, the values of respect, the values of excellence, to count but a few. So you've got to go back into your own self, your own upbringing, and see what has been inculcated in your being. What are the things that root to reality? So when you are building your linguistic capabilities, learn poetry. Even do slam poetry. And do it to yourself, because slam poetry is where we are not worried about grammar. We're not worried about typographical errors. It's just words coming from how you feel. Write poetry when you're feeling sad. Write poetry when you're feeling excited. Write poetry when you are feeling whatever emotion you're feeling, and have your voice come out, for you to hear your own voice, for you to express your voice in writing. I find that a very powerful way of developing linguistic capabilities. So over and above that, I'm inviting you to read. We are losing the culture of reading because of the pervasiveness of visual material on TV, on videos. I invite you to read a fiction or non-fiction and create your own word palette, your favorite words. Because linguistic capability is about language, it's about expressing yourself. And you won't be able to do that if your linguistic capabilities are narrow. You don't have enough words to color your writing. So when you are writing, culture becomes important because you need to color your writing with your own idioms from your own culture. Amagciko, ngesiXhosa. You need to come up with metaphors. And those are the things you use to explain what you're talking about. You can talk about metaphorically with those two concepts for you to explore every week. I'm hoping to give you more ideas on how to do that. Let's now talk about intuitive intelligence. Why is intuitive intelligence important for writing? First of all, what is intuition? Intuition is this infinite part of you that is perfect, that we crowd out with the busyness of life. That part of us that connects us with the present, the past, the future, that connects us with the infiniteness and the creative power of God, of being, of source, whatever way you want to describe it. I am of the view that you can't write authentically until you develop that intuitive power, because you need to connect with the literature you're reading to interpret it. Because if you're writing a thesis or a dissertation, you are critiquing other writers from a space of your understanding and your connectedness with what they are trying to write. You are not trying to summarize what they are talking about. So intuition is a very important part of writing. That's why you can't write when you're not fully present. You've got to be fully present. You can't write while you're distracted by your phone, by your family, by TV. You've got to be in a space where grace flows through your mind, your body, your emotions, so that you connect with yourself, you connect with the readers, and you try and understand what they are writing about. So can you see that writing and intelligences, they really go together? And I'm just scratching the surface of intuitive intelligence for now. Next week, I want to explore more with you how to build your intuitive intelligence. Because when you are so intuitive, you have developed a capacity to protect yourself, a capacity to tap into the infiniteness, a capacity to improve your memory, to actually even tap into your perfect memory. So it's a subject I want you to think about, and I want us to explore together as we are unlocking the capabilities for writing. Okay, see you next week, Tuesday. Thank you.